And one problem that I see a little bit facing agriculture right now is if you've ever gone out to farms much, you'll quickly learn that a farmer will treat his own land differently than he will treat his rented land. Just because he does the future of whether he has that or not is uncertain. And I see in a lot of areas that guys don't even lime at the rate they should lime, because I had one farmer tell me in Illinois that if a lime truck crosses my property next year when I'm bidding for cash rents, that will be a lot higher. My neighbors will have seen that lime truck and it will be a lot higher. Well, calcium is the great cleanser of the world. I mean, we use it to cleanse everything. And when people aren't liming properly because these lands are changing property every year, that actually can contribute to some of the issues that we're facing. And I don't know how all that plays out eventually, but there's a hunger for these absentee owners to always harvest the most amount of money off that acre they can every year. And I think there are some consequences to that for us in production agriculture. It's hard because you're talking about for a person that owned the land and is maybe one generation removed, they still care a great deal about that land or may be willing to listen. But once you get two or three generations down and they're more concerned about the cash flow that's generated to supplement what the job they have in the city, they're less concerned about that. And again, just an example would be a farmer that I talked to, I think it was actually in Iowa, that's, we were talking about some of these management practices. He said that his landlord wanted X amount of pounds of dry fertilizer applied to his field every year. It really didn't matter if it was near a creek or whatever, that he wanted the value of that land to stay the same. And in his mind, applying a significant amount of fertilizer to that every year was how to do it. Well, if the guy wanted to keep the land, then he's backed into that corner. That doesn't align with a lot of the things we're discussing here today, and you're exactly right, that education process needs to take place. But what is the platform that we can do that on? That's the hard part.
And Galynn just said something really interesting here, and at the end of the day, I'm an economist. That's what my training is. I'm not a biological scientist, and I once worked with an attorney in agricultural practice in Iowa who said to me, one of the challenges with agriculture is that folks confuse land ownership with farming, and they don't have anything to do with each other. The fact is, land ownership is a financial investment, and he said, I run a law firm, and I don't have to own the 40-story office building downtown to practice law. I have to lease and control a suite of offices big enough for me to pursue my business. And for the most part, when people own an asset like land, even if their goal isn't to maximize the value of that asset still has to pay for itself at the end of the day. And frankly, they'd like it to make a relatively good return. And so if they believe that applying that fertilizer somehow maintains the value of that asset, they're not applying that fertilizer to grow a crop. They're applying that fertilizer to maintain the value of the asset.